This video is the first in a series I'm going to call War of the Popes. The Roman Catholic Church likes to present itself as being authoritative, maybe even infallible. One pope comes along with teaching authority. He says, "You must do what I say. If you don't do it, you will incur the wrath of God." Then another pope comes along and says, "No, we don't need to do that so much." What happens whenever two popes that claim to speak and teach with authority contradict each other? Let me give you an example of that. In the 16th century, the Pope was Saint Pius V. He was at the height of the Counter-Reformation. He dealt harshly with reformers, including excommunication for anybody who disagreed with him, and also turning them over to the authorities who worked closely with church authorities in order to basically prosecute and punish people who were deemed heretics. He issued a document called Quo Primum. Let me read you an excerpt from that document. "We order and decree that this missal, which we have published, shall be used henceforth, and we forbid absolutely anyone to alter it. If anyone presumes to do so, let them know that they are incurring the wrath of Almighty God and of the blessed apostles Peter and Paul." What the Pope did is he basically locked the Latin Mass in stone and said it can never be changed. Anyone who does change it is incurring the wrath of Almighty God. Now we come along to the previous Pope, Pope Francis. He issues a document, Traditionis Custodes, and also a letter which accompanied that document. In it, he said that the Latin Mass was found to be creating division, therefore it needed to be suppressed. He suppressed the priests who could conduct the Latin Mass and the number of times that it could be observed. If Francis had said these things during the time of Pius, he would have excommunicated him from the church, and he would have handed him over to civil authorities for prosecution because he would have been deemed a heretic. Let's think about the idea of truth. If something is true, it doesn't change, right? From one century to the next century, presumably the gospel is true in a way that it stays the same. It is relevant for all times and all generations. We don't need the holier than thou Roman Catholic Church to issue some kind of a change to it because it's already sufficient how it is. It doesn't need their opinion to be added onto it. Yet here we have a infallible and authoritative church which goes from saying that the Latin Mass is holier than thou, maybe even God himself trembles before the thing because it's so holy, to, we really shouldn't do this thing anymore and it's really not necessary and we need to do the Novus Ordo Mass. You see how the church claims to be the one holy Catholic and apostolic church with the one true deposit of faith, and yet if these two popes were in the same room together, they'd come to blows because they'd say the other was dead wrong.